Maayong adlaw sa tanan. Good day to everyone. We are here to present our part 3 of our language comparison project, focusing on the morphological information of the Cebuano language. In this section, we will explain how words are formed, structured, and modified, from roots and affixes to the creation of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. We will also show how Cebuano follows a consistent systematic pattern that makes it such a rich and expressive language. We will talk about is the morphological information. This one, we will start with Cebuano, which is Cebuano is classified as an agglutinative language, which means it builds words in a systematic and logical way. Every word starts with a root that carries the basic core meaning, and new words are formed by attaching grammatical units called affixes. This process changes the definition, function, or role of the word, allowing us to express different ideas without having to create entirely new rules. Examples are luto, meaning cook, will turn into magluto, meaning will cook. We also have dako, which means big. It will turn to pagdako, meaning growth, or madako, meaning can become big. Next page is the General American English, which is a fusional-analytic using a mix of affixation, compounding, and class shifting. Unlike Cebuano, one affix often has multiple meanings, and word order matters as much as word structure. Its four main processes are the first one is derivation, which it adds affixes to change meaning or class, from happy to unhappy and teach to teacher. The second one is inflection. It adds endings for grammar, like cat becomes cats, walk becomes walked. Third is the compounding. It joins words like sun plus glasses equals sunglasses. Lastly, we have the conversion, which is it shifts function without change. Example is email, which is noun, to email, which is verb. Next page, formation of nouns. We will start again with Cebuano. Every word in Cebuano begins with a root that holds its core meaning, and new words are created by adding affixes in four ways. We have prefixes, it is at the start. We have second is infixes, it is inserted inside. Third is suffixes, it is added at the end. And lastly is circumfixes that wrap around the root. Nouns are formed by attaching these affixes to roots that may originally be verbs, adjectives, or nouns, resulting in different categories. Place or container nouns using an or han. Second is collective or abstract nouns with ka or an. Third is agent or occupation nouns marked by mag or man. And lastly is language or production nouns using in. Affixes also form terms related to time, origin, and material, allowing clear and systematic naming of people, places, concepts, and objects. Next page. In our American English, nouns name people, places, things, or ideas, and are formed through several methods like adding suffixes such as meant, or shon to verbs, using endings like nes, et, or th with adjectives, combining two words into compounds, shifting word class without changing spelling, and adding inflections to mark number or possession. Next slide. Now we will talk about the formation of verbs of Cebuano language. Verbs in Cebuano follow a unique grammatical system called focus, which highlights part of the sentence is the main topic rather than indicating tense. This system shows whether the focus is on the doer, receiver, location, beneficiary, or tool used. making the language very precise. Under actor focus, we have affixes such as mu, mi, mag, nag, ma, na. And the infix mark different action states. For example, from the root luto, meaning cook, we get muluto, meaning will cook. We also have nagluto, meaning was cooking, and maluto can be cooked. And we also have the goal focus. It uses affixes like on, hon, gi, a, or ha to show what receives the action, as in luton, meaning to be cooked, giluto, meaning was cooked, and lutua, meaning cook it. We also have locative and benefactive focus. It uses an or han to indicate where or for whom an action is done, such as lutuan, meaning cook for or at a place. While instrumental focus uses the prefix "i" to mark the tool or method, as in iluto, meaning use something to cook with. Every affix changes the verb's function, creating a systematic and expressive structure. Next page. So, in comparison, verbs in general American English express actions, states, or events, and are formed through four main methods. The first one is derivation. It is by adding affixes to nouns and adjectives, as in modern to modernize, or wide to widen. Second is compounding, by joining two words such as overtake. Third is conversion, by shifting word class without changing spelling, like turning the noun battle into the verb to battle. And lastly is inflection, by alerting form to show tense, number, or aspect as seen in play, plays, played, or play. The next page will be discussed by my partner, Ms. Mabunay.
So next, we are going to tackle about the formation of adjectives. So in Cebuano, the process of creating adjectives and adverbs is identical to how we form nouns and verbs because the language follows a consistent agglutinative system. The formation of adjectives are formed by adding specific affixes to roots such as ma, which describes qualities or characteristics, pagka, which emphasizes a noticeable state or condition, and on or hon, which shows a tendency toward a certain trait. In sentences, adjectives can come before or after the noun they describe, linked by the word nga, and words like kaayo are used to strengthen the description. Reduplication also works here, softening the meaning so that pait, which means bitter in English, becomes pait-pait, meaning slightly bitter. Next page. So, in general American English, English forms adjectives mainly through affixation, adding prefixes such as on or this, and suffixes like full, less, or able to nouns and verbs to create descriptive meanings. They also follow a fixed word order, usually appearing directly before the noun they modify. Unlike in Cebuano, reduplication in English is not a regular grammatical feature. It only occurs occasionally in informal speech such as baby talk, or in idiomatic expressions such as tinsy-wincy or itsy-bitsy. Next is the formation of adverbs. So, in formation of adverbs, Cebuano adverbs explains how, when, or where an action takes place, and they follow three main patterns. The first one is standalone adverbs, wherein it works on their own to show time, place, or intensity. Adjectives, meanwhile, can also function as adverbs when linked to verbs using nga or ug. Additionally, reduplication changes the meaning by repeating the whole verb, only the first syllable, or modifying the intensity, just as it does for other parts of speech. Examples are in full reduplication, When it repeats the whole root, such as diha, it becomes diha-diha, which means right away or instantly. In partial reduplication, when it only repeats the first syllable, such as guba, and it becomes pagguguba, it means act destructively in English. Lastly, we have here the adjectival reduplication, wherein it softens the meaning. For example, gamay becomes gamay-gamay, and it means just a little bit. Since Cebuano follows a unified agglutinative structure, all word clauses are built using the same basic method, starting from a root word and adding affixes or repeating parts of it. These consistent systems means no separate rules are needed. Only the choice of affix determines whether the result becomes a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. In comparison, English forms adverbs primarily through suffixation. Standalone adverbs directly indicate time, place, or frequency, such as now, there, later, or soon. For adverb of manner, most are created by adding li to adjectives, changing final y to I before the suffix, as in happy to happily. Reduplication is not also productive rule in English. It cannot be used to form new adverbs and only appears occasionally in fixed expressions. Next is we are going to talk about the compound words. So according to Caulfield 2023, compound words are formed by combining two or more words to create a single meaning. And they appear in the three forms: open, which is written with spaces; hyphenated compound word, which is linked by hyphens; and closed compound word, which is joined as one word. So in Cebuano language, compounds is also called linangkob nga pulong, is mostly used open, or they mostly use open or hyphenated structures to keep their meaning clear, such as sibuyas dahon, which means green onion in English, or anak babaye, which means daughter in English. Meanwhile, in general American English, compounds follow all three patterns and functions mainly as nouns or adjectives, as seen in ice cream, sister-in-law, and notepad. So, the other informations that we have in Cebuano language is that Cebuano differs significantly from English in several unique morphological features. First, it uses a focus system instead of subject-verb agreement. While English verbs change based on the subject, I walk versus she walks, Cebuano verbs adjust to highlight the topic of the sentence. Mukhaon ng bata versus kaonan or kaonon sa bata ang saging. Second, reduplication is fully productive and grammatical, used to mark intensity, plurality, and aspect, and unlike English, where it only appears in fixed expressions. Third, Cebuano freely uses infixes inserted inside roots, whereas English only allows prefixes and suffixes. Fourth is that it expresses aspect rather than strict tense, indicating whether an action is completed or ongoing. For example, nikaon ako or mukaon ako, instead of fixed past, present, or future forms. Fifth is that Cebuano uses linkers like ng or nga to connect words, a feature absent in English language. Finally, it has no grammatical gender, using only siya for all persons, unlike English, which distinguishes gender through pronouns such as he, she, it, they, them, and so on.
So, in conclusion, Cebuano is agglutinative. It builds words from roots using prefixes, infixes, suffixes, and circumfixes, with each affix having one clear meaning. It uses focus, aspect, linkers, and productive reduplication. English is fusional-analytic. It relies on affixation, compounding, conversion, and word order. Its affixes carry multiple meanings, and it lacks infixes and regular reduplication. This comparison shows how each language follows its own consistent logic. It improves learning, highlights linguistic diversity, and proves both systems are equally effective for communication.
So, to summarize our topic for today is that We have seen how Cebuano builds all its words through roots, affixation, reduplication, following one unified set of rules. These structures proves that Cebuano is a highly organized agglutinative language which is flexible and clear in its expressions. We hope this presentation gave you a better understanding about the Cebuano language. Thank you very much for listening and for your attention. Daghang salamat!